Okay, we're back. We're doing the courthouse garden tea house, and this time I think we're gonna be working on a bit of the building. Today we are going to make a dining room with a little gazebo. First things first, we got to do the tabletop, and it's just a piece of paper that we cut out and glue to the top. And I just now realized after finishing editing that I missed the edges of this table. I'll do it afterwards. Alright, and we've done this before. We're going to cut out these little cookies or little sushi rolls. I don't know, they're pretty though. And it's just slicing them into little cookie slices and then cutting them into quarters. And we're going to do it again with these little Swiss rolls or Tootsie Rolls, or I'm not sure what they are honestly, but they're cute. And the fun part, putting them all together, and it wanted me to cut some of these little buds off the plastic plant here, and I guess they're little beans or cabbage rolls, whatever that you want them to be. This one's pretty straightforward. You're just going to glue the little legs on the bottom. Just make sure they're straight and you'll be good. Now we're going to set the table, but first we need to make some chopsticks so that they can eat the yummy food that's on the table. And then you just glue it on and you got a little table setting. And now we make the little dining room chairs. And this is pretty easy. You're gonna glue the material onto the wood there, and then I'm gonna squish it with my brick and then cut them out. Make sure you cut the corners out so that you can fold it properly, and then squish it again and let it dry. The only tricky part about putting the little feet on is after I put on the last footing, I noticed that, oh, these have little angles, so the angle goes towards the front of the chair, so I just had to flip those around to make them even. And you're going to make a little light that goes into the gazebo. The little wire is to hold it steady. So once you glue everything up and string the wire through the bead there, you're going to stick a little wire and bend it at a right angle so that it lays flat. You'll see at the end how it's glued down. It'll make sense, I promise. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to build the gazebo. And this, you're literally building it kind of like you're a giant building it for a very small person. I guess that's literally what we're doing, but but you're going to build it with the feet. You're going to build it all the way up to the poles and make it straight. You definitely want to follow the directions very carefully because otherwise it's not going to be all straight at the end. This is where I start to realize this platform is not square. There's definitely a short end, see, it's not making it all the way to the end there, and a longer end. So I ended up eventually flipping those two railings around and it fitted perfectly. So I would probably, what I would do differently is I would do a dry run and make sure that your pieces fit before you glue it, because I ended up taking it apart and then redoing it. And now you can see that I fixed it and it fits much, much, much better. Now you're going to start putting these crossbars, and this is really what straightens it out. So just carefully do it, and everything will be nice and straight and sturdy if you do it right. These other little crossbars were kind of a pain because they just did not want to stay up there. So I ended up, especially on the second one, once I stuck it up there, I had to hold it for a good, 3 minutes before it actually stayed. I would probably put these on first in hindsight and then do it upside down so it lays nice and flat. But it worked. It was fine. Then you're going to put these little decorative crossbars. Now there's 5 of them, so you want to kind of evenly space it. And that's me calculating where they're all going to go. The first ones are easy because the edge ones, they match up with the little cross beam on the bottom. And then you just want to evenly space the other 3. And make sure, because I noticed that there is a curve, so you want to make sure the curved side is up, and then the square end goes square to the end of the other crossbeam. And now we're going to stick that light in. See, here is where that a little wire is going to start making sense now. Because once you super glue that to the top, it'll help it so it doesn't go all the way to the right there and go all wonky. Because you want it straight down and shine on your dining room table. Another thing, when I glued this, I didn't wait till the other glue was completely dry, which is fine. It actually made it a little bit easier. Is once I stuck this on, the little beam fell off, and so I just made sure it was stuck. The light was stuck firmly before I glued the beam right back on to the gazebo. Was an easy fix. Just glued it right back on there. And we're just going to follow the diagram of exactly where we're going to glue the wire. Now I use super glue. This glue is kind of thick and it takes a while to dry. So in between each glue, I held it there with my thumb and then waited for that to dry before I went on to the other one. Otherwise it would just pop up and it'll drive you crazy. So just be patient, glue one piece, then glue the next piece, and then go on down. Because in the end, and you definitely want to follow the diagrams, because that's where the holes in the wall is going to be, and you're going to wire it all together at the end, and you want them to fit. And now we're going to glue all the little chairs and table into the gazebo so that they don't slide all over the place when you pick it up. It is absolutely adorable. ta-da! We got it all done. This is probably the first project that actually has a part of the building. So it was definitely a learning curve. Just be patient, follow the directions, and you'll be very happy with the result. So stay tuned. We're gonna keep going. We got a lot more parts to go, and so stay tuned for the next video.